Hello and welcome to the first lesson on conditional statements in Python. So an important part of programming is writing code that allows the computer to make decisions based on given conditions. In Python and other programming languages, there's a way to instruct the computer to make a decision using conditional statements. The conditional statement starts with an if statement and can also contain else if and else statements. Here's an example of a simple program that uses conditional statements. So we're going to here check an integer to see if it is larger than 10 or less than 10. But before we can check an integer, we first actually need the user to enter an integer. And so in Python, there's a way of getting input from the user, just like in any other programming language. We can ask for input. So I'm going to open a new file. Well, actually, let me open, I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to save this file as conditionals.py. Oops. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to copy the code into this file and we will see how it runs. So first we're going to ask for input. Now we can add a comment just to indicate what we're actually doing here. So we're checking an integer. It's good to add comments to code because it lets you know what the code actually does. Recall that comments, they do not actually get read by the Python compiler. They're ignored by it. Okay, so num is just a variable that we're defining. Float means any number really. So decimal values included. So integers and decimal values. So it's known as a floating point number. So it could be a fraction, it could be a decimal value, a rational number, so on. Input is a way of, it's a function that gets input from the user. And then this is the question that we're going to ask the user, or what the user is going to see, the text. Enter any integer number. Space. Closing quote. And then we have two brackets here. So notice that there's the input is, this function is inside of float. Okay, so that's why we need two brackets at the end. Okay, and now we're going to check the number. So if number is greater than 10, colon, print. So print is another function that allows us to print something out. The number is greater than 10. Now we're going to exit this, go back, else. So what I did here is it was a backspace, okay, to go back to this line here. Leave the indentation. Enter or return, print. Number is less than 10. So let's save this. And we are going to try to run this and see what happens. So run. So here we can see that we're being asked for an integer. So I'm gonna put 10, let's say, or actually, well, 10 wouldn't really work here, right? So let's go with 8. The number is less than 10. Okay, and that's it. So it doesn't ask us for any other number. Okay. So let's run it again. And this time we're going to put in 11 and see what happens. So now it says the number is greater than 10. Okay, so here we have a simple conditional structure and an if-else structure. Below we have another example. Okay, so another program. So let us go back here. And so if I want to make Python ignore these lines, I'm just going to put the pound symbol in front of each one. Now the pound symbol can also be put so it can also generally be put, actually no, it doesn't. If it's at the end, it doesn't actually consider it to be a comment. Okay, so now this is not being interpreted by the compiler. So for this one here, we're asking for age. Okay, so age equals. So we're storing a value, an integer value, in the age variable. We're going to ask the user to enter their age. That's that. It's a little strange. Oh, we need double brackets. That's why. Yeah, there's another bracket that's needed here. So and that's in a strange way, then you know that something is wrong at the end here. So if age is less than 18, colon, print, you are likely still in school. Oh, I think I'm gonna have to do, yeah, double quotes here. Otherwise, it thinks it ended already. I think, yeah. So I'm gonna have to use double quotes because there's already a single quote over here, so I can't do that. Close up period. Okay. Return or backspace. Else if age is less than or equal to, or actually 18 is less than or equal to, 18 is less than or equal to age, and age is less than 25, colon, print, and double quotes are required here, you are likely attending post-secondary institution. Another else if statement. Oh, yeah, there shouldn't be an H here. This isn't right. So I'm going to erase that. Yeah, so that's fine. And then 25 is less than or equal to H less than 66. So 25 included, but less than 66. Print you are likely working. And finally, else print you are likely retired. Okay, so let's try running this and see what happens. Okay. So let's say I enter 17. So you're likely in school. Okay, I'm gonna run this again. Let's try 19. You're likely attending a post-secondary institution. Okay. Now run it again. Let's go with 26. You're likely working, and then finally, let's go with 67. Yeah, you're likely retired. Okay, so the program works as intended. Okay, and so this was an introduction to conditional statements in Python. Thank you for watching this lesson.